The Fulani response is inevitable jihad. Oh, one statement one. Inevitable jihad. It is now obvious that we have no option than to relaunch our jihad campaign, and we have started in earnest. Mi ò wọ́n wí mo ṣe máa translate yẹn sí Yorùbá pé ogun the only thing táwọn nígbà tí wọ́n ti lọ gbé èèyàn kan wá tí ò kì í ṣe ọmọ Fúlàní tí ò dẹ̀ kì í ṣe ẹni tó máa protect interest Fúlàní, the only thing tó wà available fáwọn Fúlàní kan bẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun. Ìjọba Tinubu ẹni tí wọ́n fẹ́ yẹn kó máa retí wọn nílùú kọ̀ọ̀kan ní South àti Middle Belt, nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, nílẹ̀ Ìgbò, nílẹ̀ àwọn ìjọ, nílẹ̀ àwọn Middle Belt. Wọ́n ní it is now obvious that we have no option than to relaunch our campaign, and we have started in earnest. Kan tó lọ study nígbà tí gbogbo ẹ̀ bá empty. Tí bá gbé agolo lé lọ́wọ́ pé lọ máa wò dáadáa tó ṣì tó sí nǹkan kan bẹ̀. Kí ló wá fẹ́ ṣe? That is it. Kì í ṣe pé Tinubu ò wò kò sí nǹkan kan bẹ̀ ni. Kò sí ọ̀nà ti dí. Oh yeah.
Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà.
Àìwò.
Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ajé.
Ọ̀rọ̀ ajé nìkan kọ́. Ọ̀rọ̀ ajé nìkan kọ́. Àwọn Fulani nationalist movement gbé pátápátá gbogbo àwọn Miyetti Allah nǹkan kan ló ṣe ara ẹgbẹ́ yẹn. Wọ́n issue statement kan sí gbogbo ayé. Wọ́n ní torí pé ńgbà tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe election àwọn sọ fún àwọn àgbààgbà Fulani wípé the only president táwọn máa gbà ọ́ ni president tó bá jẹ́ Fulani, àbí tí ò bá kì í ṣe Fulani tó ready láti defend Fulani interest. Àwọn àgbààgbà wọn tí síwá sẹ́yìn wọ́n ṣà ń sọ fún wọn pé káwọn farabalẹ̀ àwọn máa rí ṣe, wọ́n rí ṣe. Tinubu wá di president. And I pray now the answer is a jihad. Oh, wà ńbẹ̀. Oni. The Fulani response is inevitable jihad. Oh, one statement one. Inevitable jihad. It is now obvious that we have no option than to relaunch our jihad campaign, and we have started in earnest. Mi ò wọ́n wí mo ṣe máa translate yẹn sí Yorùbá pé ogun the only thing táwọn nígbà tí wọ́n ti lọ gbé èèyàn kan wá tí ò kì í ṣe ọmọ Fúlàní tí ò dẹ̀ kì í ṣe ẹni tó máa protect interest Fúlàní, the only thing tó wà available fáwọn Fúlàní kan bẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun. Ìjọba Tinubu ẹni tí wọ́n fẹ́ yẹn kó máa retí wọn nílùú kọ̀ọ̀kan ní South àti Middle Belt, nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, nílẹ̀ Ìgbò, nílẹ̀ àwọn ìjọ, nílẹ̀ àwọn Middle Belt. Wọ́n ní it is now obvious that we have no option than to relaunch our campaign, and we have started in earnest. Henceforth, láti èní lọ, kí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Nàìjíríà máa gbọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ wa ní gbogbo àwọn ìlú àti ìletò tó wà ní ilẹ̀ South West, nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, nílẹ̀ àwọn Ìgbò, nílẹ̀ àwọn ìjọ, nílẹ̀ àwọn Middle Belt. Àwa ò lè gbà, àwa Fúlàní à lè gbà láti jẹ́ second class citizen in any country. It is not acceptable. Àwọn ló ń pààyàn káàkiri, àwọn ló ń pa ọba tó ń pa ìjòyè káàkiri nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ara ogun wọn tán ni wọ́n máa jà náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn. The arrest of any Fulani man in connection with the jihad, pé ìjà tá à ń jà yìí, tá a bá ń jà tá à ń dà lóru tá à ń ṣe, tí ìjọba Nàìjíríà bá mú anybody because of it, we want the Nigerian government to know not to make the mistake of arresting any Fulani leader or a person, never again. we warn the Nigerian government pé tán bá ṣe wàhálà ṣẹlẹ̀ àwa máa bring wàhálà wá bá wọn tí orí wọn ò ní ká Nigerian government. láì ọmọdé wo ló máa òun ti dàgbà díẹ̀ ó ní sùúrù ó lè farada nǹkan ó lè ṣe ọmọdé ò lè farada gbogbo ẹ̀ àti túkà tó bá jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá kan ni lára àwọn young men wa wọ̀nyí kan ní òní náà elect ní president kan wá máa ṣe ìwọ̀n tán ṣe àti tú gbogbo ẹ̀ka àti kúrò mbẹ́ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ káwọn Fúlàní ní right legitimate right wọ́n ní right yẹn láti máa wọnú ilẹ̀ wa láti máa ṣe nǹkan tó bá wù wọ́n ni pé a jọ wà ní the same country tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà àwa ò lè sọ pé kán má wọ ilẹ̀ wa a ní legal right láti sọ fún wọn pé kán má wọ ilẹ̀ wa so they will be coming and doing what they are doing the only way ta fi lè stop ẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ wa rẹ́dí o wọ́n á jà wọ́n á lọ bá Fúlàní ti tún gbé èèyàn kan ní village kan ní Kogi o a tún di gìrìgìrì wọ́n tún sá lọ bẹ̀ wọ́n á tún lọ lé àwọn Fúlàní á tún sá kúrò wọ́n á lọ sí another place kankan. The Fulani have a right to be in our land because we are part of Nigeria. Kò sí yẹn kò ní tata mẹ́mọ̀ kankan. That is their right. And so wọ́n ní right láti wọlé wa láti wá máa ṣe nǹkan tó ń ṣe wọ̀nyí. The only way tá a fi lè parí ẹ̀ ni pé ká separate from Nigeria ká ní country ara wa. Ká bá ní country ara wa tán bá wá fẹ́ wá sílùú wa wọ́n á máa gba visa láti wá. Ẹni tó bá ń ṣàbásádọ̀ wa ní àdúgbò wọn lọ́hùn á lè decide ẹni tó ń fẹ́ fún ní visa ẹni tó ń fẹ́ fún ní visa kó wá wọlé wa ṣùgbọ́n pé gbogbo wọn kàn délé free láti wá máa wọlé wa bó ṣe wù wọ́n it's not possible kò ní possible ń gbà yẹn mọ́ it is the only solution. Tinubu mọ̀ pé a lè bá òun jà kì í ṣe torí tẹ̀ là ṣe ń jà a lè lajú sílẹ̀ káwọn èèyàn wa kan máa pa wọ́n. Ó dọ̀ba mẹ́ta tán pa lẹ́nu ìjẹrin wọ́n pa méjì ní northern part of Ekiti wọ́n pa kan ní Kwara lóru ènìmọ́jú wọ́n kó àwọn 14 young people tó ń ti school bọ̀ wọ́n kó wọn wọnú igbó lọ àbá ogun yẹn ti ń wà on ibi báwọn ṣe fẹ́ jagun tí wọ́n nìyẹn àwa ni ká decide kí la ṣe máa stop ẹ̀. Tá a bá rí mẹ́rin Nàìjíríà kan máa bá wọn jà náà tì wọ́n díẹ̀ ń bí lọ wọ́n á tún padà wá àtún tì wọ́n àtún padà wá àtún tì wọ́n àtún padà àtún gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti tún yọ ní ọ̀nà Ọ̀wọ̀ àgbọ̀ adé wọn gírígírígírí àgbọ̀ pé wọ́n ti jáde ní Ọ̀rẹ́ àṣẹ gbúrúgbúrú àgbọ̀ pé wọ́n ti jáde ní Ṣàgámù bá a ṣe máa ṣe nìyẹn tí wọ́n máa pa àwọn èèyàn wa tí wọ́n máa ẹ wò ó. Wọ́n ronú wọ́n lọ ń pa ọba wọ́n ń sọ fún àwa Yorùbá pé ẹ jẹ́mọ́ nǹkan kan nìyẹn àjẹmọ́ nǹkan kan mọ́ nìyẹn wọ́n ń pa ọba wa. Can you imagine pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan lè kórajọ kan ló ní kinní kan tán wá kan lọ pa emir kan ní north ẹ wo nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ tí ìyẹn bá ṣẹlẹ̀ wá kí ló dé tí àwa ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ara wa bíi pé a ò jẹ́mọ́ nǹkan kan mọ́ nǹkan tó bá wù wọ́n náà lè ṣe sí wa aṣáfẹ́ wà nù Nàìjíríà fún kẹ́ni restructuring tá a bá ṣe restructuring ṣe they still have the legitimate right to come to our land restructured or not restructured tá a bá ṣe restructuring kó bá happen pé restructuring ṣe they will still have the legitimate right to come to our land wọ́n á sì ní right láti wọlé wa ká máa ṣe nǹkan tó ń ṣe wọ̀nyí the only answer ni pé ká jáde. Yíyá kíákíá ó yá kíákíá kò yá kíákíá that's entirely in the hands of God. So ẹnì ó mọ̀ bóyá ó máa yá bóyá kò ní yá o kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀. Nǹkan tó yẹ ká ṣe àwọn ọmọ wa ń ṣe díẹ̀díẹ̀ mbẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ọ̀rọ̀ yìí dùn wọ́n o ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ká wọn lára. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe ìwọ̀nba tán lè ṣe wọ́n á lọ bá àwọn Fúlàní inú gbé wọ́n á lé wọn kúrò ń bẹ̀ wọ́n á ṣe ìgbà mìíràn lára àwọn ọmọ wa wọ́n á rí ibi tán ti ń lọ lé wọn yẹn wọ́n á kú wọ́n á gbókú ẹ̀ wálé So, you know, ìyẹn làwọn ọmọ ibi tó ọmọdé mọ̀ tán mọ̀ ṣe mọ̀ nìyẹn, ibi tí àyè wà fún wọn láti ṣe mọ̀ nìyẹn. A ní agbára mìíràn, and we must now invoke that agbára. A ní gómìnà mẹ́fà ní South West. Tá a bá lè bẹ àwọn gómìnà wa kan jọ káwọn náà kan dìde sí security yẹn sílẹ̀, àwa la bẹ̀ wọ́n tán fi dá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sílẹ̀. èmi mo lọ sọ̀rọ̀ mi jọ́ tán open tán inaugurate Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Èmi mo sọ̀rọ̀ ńbẹ̀, èmi nìkan ni the only person tí ò kì í ṣe ara àwọn ìjọba, èmi àti Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ Ọọ̀ni on behalf of the Ọba, èmi on behalf of ordinary Yoruba people níjọ́ yẹn. But àwọn Fúlàní ti gbèrò pọ̀ ní Àbújá, wọ́n ti sẹ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn dẹ́dún arìnlẹ̀. Wọ́n ní a lè ra ìbọn fún wọn. Ọ̀dà àmì kékeré ni wọ́n. Wọ́n ní rárá is illegal. Wọ́n ti sọ pé totally illegal. Malami Attorney General ti kọ́kọ́ sọ fún wa wípé no, Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn is illegal. Ìgbà tó yá náà wá sọ pé well okay, ẹ lè kí ìfẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ lè ra ìbọn fún wọn o, ẹ lè rí kíní kan fún wọn kí náà fẹ́ fi bá Fúlàní tó kó AK-47 rifle dáníjà. Ẹ ti ra AK-47 rifles fún àwọn Fúlàní, ó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ẹ wá ní àwọn ọmọ tiwa kan lọ máa gbé igi kan máa gbádà káládì lọ pàdé wọn. Ìṣe máa yẹ àwọn ọmọ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn táwọn Fúlàní ti pa. So ọ̀rọ̀ tí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ti bọ́ ẹ̀yìn. A ṣì wà ń bẹ̀ náà o, àwọn gómìnà ṣì lè rán àwọn ọmọ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn kan lọ bá àwọn Fúlàní tó wá dà lúrú ní ọ̀nà bí báyìí àbí ibi báyìí o. Ṣùgbọ́n agbára tó yẹ kán ní tán lè fi ṣe wọn ní. Nǹkan tó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn tán lè fi bá àwọn tó ń lọ bàjá. Àwọn Fúlàní need some of the most sophisticated guns of modern times. AK-47 rifles. Káwọn ọmọ tiwa wá lọ gbégi dání kán yọ àdá, káwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn lọ yọ àdá yọ igi kán lọ bá wọn núgbó. Ẹ̀rí pé but nǹkan tí federal government reduce Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sí nìyẹn. So the answer now is that a máa bá àwọn gómìnà wa bá ṣe bá wọn ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ń dá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sílẹ̀, tí ìjọba federal government tó sọ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn dẹ́dún arìnlẹ̀ báyìí, a ní ìdí láti tún padà lọ bá àwọn gómìnà wa. Agbára wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Àti wọ́n ní resources tán lè fi support àwọn ọmọ tó yìí. Wọ́n lè fi wá sílẹ̀ kán máa pa wá bọ́n ṣe ń pa wá yìí. Àwọn gómìnà wa ò lè fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé àwọn náà kì í ṣe pé inú wọn dùn sí, kì í ṣe pé inú wọn ò lè dùn sí, kì í ṣe pé inú wọn dùn sí. Àwa la ní ìdí láti lọ bá wọn. Àwa la lọ bá wọn nígbà ọ̀rọ̀ tó fi kán dá kinní kan sílẹ̀ tó ń jẹ́ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. Àwa la lọ bá wọn.
Ìgbà tẹ́ wọ́n sílé yìí kan. Ìgbà tẹ́ sílé yìí.
Ìyẹn ò ṣòro, ẹ má wọrí, ìyẹn ò ṣòro.
The independence of Nigeria in 1960. Conditions in Nigeria have resulted in the emigration of an ever-swelling stream of educated Yoruba to various parts of the world. It is probable that over 4 million of such Yoruba immigrants have made their homes in countries of the Western world, in the United Kingdom, United States, Canada, and some countries of continental Europe, including Asia. In each country where they have settled, Yoruba immigrants constitute a highly educated immigrant citizenry. Because of the growing expansion of Yoruba cultural influence in the Americas, educated Yoruba people in homeland Yoruba land in West Africa tend to identify more with the Black peoples of the Americas than do any other indigenous African people. The Yoruba elite in Nigeria now commonly claim that the total population of Yoruba people plus Yoruba descendants worldwide is close to 200 million. The idea of a transatlantic Yoruba nation is growing in the Americas, a transatlantic Yoruba nation. And it seems likely to become a significant factor in world affairs soon. When the immediate pastor Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye, visited the United States, he was received everywhere by enormous crowds of people, of Yoruba people and Yoruba descendants. And many citizens of Brazil and Cuba frequently asked him when he would come to take them back home to their Yoruba homeland. The earlier Oduduwa Republic is pulled out of the sinking ship called Nigeria, the safer and better for all of us as Omoluabi, Omoboriowo. It is only then that the potential presented by our massive local and diaspora population, our humongous natural and intellectual resources, and our unique geography can be fully realized. It may be difficult and daunting initially, but nothing worth having comes easy. We must note that we were never conquered by the British. What we signed with them were treaties of trade and cooperation, not treaties of conquest and subjugation. Now that the Fulani have openly declared war on us, we must meet this unconventional asymmetric war in the language they have chosen to prosecute it: brutal, merciless, and lawless. However, we must rise above their barbarism and cannibalism by employing technology and artificial intelligence. These are areas where we are inherently far superior to them. However we fight this war, it must be swift, it must be sudden, and decisive in our favor. Do not forget the days of your youth. Your language and culture are captured in the history of your origin. The youth of a nation is strength. If your youth are spineless, cowardly, and directionless, the enemy will walk you over with ease. They will crush your men and rape your women. They will possess your farms and your villages. They will rule over your towns and cities. May God forbid this. However, if our youth stand firm and are indomitable, the enemy will be crushed even before they get to our city gates. They will be annihilated on the roads and on the highways. They will be incinerated in their strongholds. To achieve this, the brashness, arrogance, and daring of youth must be supplemented with regimented training, controlled exposure, and the scientifically inquisitive mind. We must substitute our priorities with new ones. Frivolities and parties must give way to discipline and focus. This existential threat faced by the Yoruba must be confronted head-on by all, especially the youth, because you have more tomorrows to reap the harvest of this land than those far advanced in years than you. After we have rid our land of the invaders or pari passu, we must vacate Nigeria. The same way we have external enemies, we equally have detractors within. And when you are I came across an article online recently. It was written by a member of the retired Yoruba Progressive Officers Group. I shall copiously quote from it to drive home some points. He wrote, "For now, there is no credible leadership, political leadership in Yoruba land. Our fatherland is empty. The recent developments in Yoruba land have shown clearly that there is no political leadership. From head to toe, Yoruba land is manned by self-serving crooks, common criminals, and VIPs, vagabonds in power." He said he wants to cite some clear examples. Number one, the bomb explosion in Ibadan. No single senator or House of Representative member visited the victims. No state governor outside the Oyo State governor did. No one had been arrested. When Kaduna was bombed, 13 emirs, all northern governors, senators and House of Representatives members visited. Northern senators donated their salaries. Northern governors gave 45 million. The Sultan of Sokoto spoke. Number two, he said two prominent Yoruba Obas were killed by Fulani. Only a few Obas in Ekiti visited. No senator or House of Representative member from anywhere in Yoruba land visited the communities. Even the senator and House of Representative members for the area have not even visited. One wrote in Miyaki, who represents, a particular area, was crying crocodile tears. Let him give 2 million out of the out of the 10 million monthly salary that he collects every month. Foolish rook. No minister from Yoruba land has visited. Not even Alake, who is from, that is Dele Alake, who is from Ekiti State. What evidence do you have, do you need to know that our political office holders are all an irresponsible bunch? 3, a prominent Yoruba was killed in Kwara State, a retired general. No statement from Yoruba condemning the killing. Yoruba senators, retired generals have said nothing. He was one of them. No Yoruba state governor has visited Koro Ekiti in Kwara State to commiserate. They are not even talking. Shameful. In Tinubu's cabinet, no single one is committed to Yoruba values. They are not for Yoruba. Let us understand that. They are for themselves. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, is alleged to have forged the secondary school and NYSC certificates. If Tinubu is wise, should he not have visited the scene of violent crimes in his motherland? When households were killed at Ile-Ife, the then Minister of Interior, Dambazao, visited Ife. That is leadership. This weekend, many of these Yoruba political leaders will be in Owambe parties, dancing away. Che Ijolo Konsin. After the Kaduna bombing, the northern leaders provided huge funds for their social groups to organize Northern Security Summit. At the summit, the federal government gave 50 billion to assist some 7 states provide the essentials of life for their people. Can you see? It is either we crush these so-called elected Yoruba leaders individually or collectively, or we are all doomed. Therefore, we must organize, we must regroup, and you, as youths, must compartmentalize your competencies into workable synergies in education, in health, technology, aviation, robotics, artificial intelligence, agriculture, arts and culture, tourism, town and country planning, etc. You must attain the utmost, challenge the improbable, dare the impossible, climb the highest mountain, and conquer your fears. You must be unassailable, indomitable, and unconquerable. The launching of this website today is another formidable step in that direction. Thank you all. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni Daddy. God bless you, sir.
Alhaja Olaide Adeyeye tí mo fi tẹlẹ́dùmarè tí mo fi pè wọ́n máa bá gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ wá tún ṣàlàyé báwọn ṣe jẹ́ nírìn àjò yìí. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò mọ́mì. Ẹ bá gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ ká gbóhùn yín mà.
Ẹ ṣeun, mo dúpẹ́ gidigidi. Mo kí bàbá wa Professor Banji Akintoye àti àbúrò wa ẹ̀gbọ́n wa olóyè Chief Sunday Igboho. Mo sì tún kí gbogbo àwa ọmọ Yorùbá pátápátá, pàápàá àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa lọ́kùnrin àti ní obìnrin. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ kọ orin yìí. It's one of our typical song ní ìgbà èwe tiwa. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ níṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ wa, ẹni kò ṣiṣẹ́ a máa jalè. Ìwé kíkọ́ láì sí ọkọ́ àti àdá, kò ì pé o, kò ì pé o. Ẹ ṣeun, mi ní lè máa sọ Yorùbá lọ títí, ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá mú báyìí. Ẹ ní mind tí mo bá sọ English, torí wọ́n ti rope wa round tó jẹ́ wípé a lè ṣe láláì jẹ́ kó a sọ òyìnbó, bó ti lè jẹ́ wípé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni wọ́n bí wa sí, ta dẹ̀ gbọ́ Yorùbá yẹn, a tún máa fi igi Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, a tún máa fi sí ìyẹn èdè òyìnbó. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi lórí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ó lọ báyìí. As one of our action program plans at UKYCO this year 2024 is on Yoruba youth, and as part of our aims and objectives is Yoruba youth can do it, and they can do it better. This is to promote the well-being, the physical, and what is trending in the world, and for development of our youth as useful leaders of tomorrow, to promote our arts and culture. What is definition of youth? Who are the youth? They are in three categories. A, age 15 to 24 years are the catch them young, between childhood and adulthood. B, age 24 to 40 years. They could be considered as young old age of youth, whom should be capable to go at length to ensure he or she engaging the young ones of 15 to 24 years to have knowledge of commitments, responsibility, and aiming to make growth on new technologies for their country. C, from 40 years to 52 years, I will put it, are experienced youth of middle age or matured that are fully committed and capable of carrying young adults forward in order to achieve their goals for their country. When the country is fully prepared to fund their projects for the future progress of the country. Why should a country help their youth and less privileged citizens free? Is because fingers unequal. It is a matter of justice and human rights, not as a charity, to take care of their citizens. We need to eradicate poverty in Yoruba land. It is the responsibility of every government of a particular country to feed, develop their citizens, the poor, by provide education, employment, accommodation, medical treatment to sustain them and have good quality of life. This is not a favor to mostly less privileged youth, young and adult, as well as sick people alike. We shall, in Yoruba land, get adequate record data based of individual citizens, the section of these citizens, of their background and status, to enable our Yoruba nation get to the teeming population of this group in our country. Word of encouragement for all our youth, young men and women. I was listening to the Yoruba Media last year, 2023, when Ayodele, Prophet Ayodele Ologunloluwa, the leader for Yoruba Youth Conference Summit in Qatar, UAE, when informing us that it is the time now that we elders should give youth the chance to allow Yoruba nation youth struggle in a reality. Now, is for our young people to gather and get things done where we elders stops. He stated that Yoruba youth are ready and in charge for development on empowerment plans for youth and young men and women, on jobs creation, on agriculture, employment, education, research, ensure regular electricity, industry creation, road infrastructures in Yoruba's land, good medical treatment, taking care of people, water for people everywhere in Yoruba land. Also, lifting up Yoruba people out of poverty, ensure that all our children are educated and are living in good environment, and plans for our people will be unfold for progress and for future of Yoruba youth. I will continue. We in UK are in support of these developments that we Yoruba elders should please give our youth and young adults the chance to take future of Yorubas in their hands, because enough is enough. We have to make progress. It is now we need protection for our people everywhere in Yoruba lands. The suffering is too much. Majorities of Yoruba children are roaming about on the streets, no jobs, no help, begging for food, talk less of living in good condition. Most of them are sleeping everywhere, openly in front of some shops where I live. Some need corrective centers to change their lives for good and able to be useful in the society. I am calling our youth and young men and women in UK to come together, know each other as youth, whether you are born in Europe or living in UK. Let us realize that we are Yoruba in diaspora, but can never be a relative to Western world who teaches how to read and write English. Please, I want us to realize that Western world has grouped we Africans as slaves at any time. No, we are just privileged to be in this part of the world and have our children. We are all blacks. We are all blacks foreigners. This is why our children and young ones should have plan B. And no matter how you are comfortable in a foreign country, you are a stranger. The time will come when you feel like visiting your father or mother's, your mother's home country, Yoruba nation. Therefore, our youth is in diaspora needs to assist our youth in Yoruba's land, to cheer them on many facilities available that they could benefit and be entitled to this opportunity in their own land, Yoruba land, instead of checking out of their country like jackals to another country. We have to find solution to all these problems. And this is the only way out of Yoruba, out of youth, to come together and make homeland workable and great. Let us protect our culture from being going weedy and not to be ignorant of it. We elders in diaspora need to support ourselves and that of our Yoruba youth. They will need our assistance to move Yoruba land forward for the sake of our children yet unborn. We in UK, together with UK YUKCO, shall work hands in hand with our youth to achieve their goals by the grace of Almighty God. YUKCO team is to start this project in earnest this year, 2024. Yes, this is the time. Let's Yoruba young men and women do it. And I am of the opinion, with determination, you can do it. It is to find new trends in the world that will benefit us and make Yoruba nation people great. I am calling all our youth, our Yoruba youth generations, on what are you doing about AI, that is artificial intelligence, to start making research if you have not done so. How can we penetrate into this technology, whereby using this in agricultural farming as it is being used in India, where they grow cross-call smart farming technology, as well as how our young farmers could build soilless farm settlements and gaining employment in the farm, and could make young people in Yoruba rich. This is the kind of aim and objectives we in UK need to support and educate our youth, both here in UK, in order to compete globally in our homeland. We should remind ourselves that as part of Yoruba youth generations, to think of producing finished products with our raw materials in our homelands, rather than allow Europeans taking our raw materials and bring back the finished product to sell to us in Africa. By using our raw materials and produce them to finished products, this will create huge employment to our youth, as well as creating avenue for our young ones to meet up and compete with other young people globally when putting priorities issues in perspective and competing with the developed countries worldwide. Remember, Yoruba land is our root. We shall link with Prophet Ologunloluwa closely in USA, who is the organizer and leader of Yoruba Nation Youth in diaspora, since we want to achieve same goal for Yoruba Nation Youth in our homeland. Now we are launching Yoruba Nation Youth website today. Please, we want our Yoruba youth in UK who are interested in registered on the website from today to enable you link and know the opportunities available for every Yoruba youth here in UK and in our homeland. We in UK, in Yoruba, UK Central Office, have programs lining up to prepare the mind of Yoruba youth, namely, Yoruba youth can do it. You are the future of our tomorrow. Tomorrow must be our concern. Thank you. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ jẹ́ kí àwa Yorùbá ṣe ara wa ní ọ̀kan, kí a lè mọ bí a ṣe máa gba ọmọ wa ní ìyànjú láì ṣe inúnibíni sí ara wa nítorí àwọn ọmọ wa àti ibi ọrọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa Yorùbá kó lè ṣeé ṣe. Tí a kò bá fi ìmọ̀ ṣe ọ̀kan láàárín ara wa, kò sí ibi tí àwa ń lọ, kò sí ibi tí Yorùbá ń lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan, kí a dúró, kí a dẹ̀ fi inú ṣe tó jẹ́ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ wọn á jọ mọ́ra wọn, à lè tètè rí ìlú wa gbà. The time is now. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a sowọ́pọ̀ láti ran ara wa àti gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́. Àsìkò ti tó. Ẹ ṣeun. Our Yoruba youth can do it, and they will do it better. Thank you. My name is Olaide Adeyeye. Ẹ ṣeun.